Hi everyone, welcome to Finkel Pottery, welcome to the channel. I'm coming to you from Prince Edward Island on the east coast of Canada on a funny day today. It's rained, the sun's out, it's rained, the sun's out. So anyway, enjoying the sun when it's out. I have another kiln opening to share with you. So I will just jump right in, just unloaded. I'm going to start with this one. So this piece is a birthday gift to myself. It's my birthday on July 3rd. I'm turning 60. It's a biggie. I decided to make myself a planter. So I'd love to be able to tell you everything I used on this, but holy cow, I threw everything at it but the kitchen sink. But I'll give you the broad strokes. So it's a mermaids and seaside, because we live on an island in the Atlantic Ocean, so seaside is appropriate. First I put some oxides on it. So I put some copper wash and some cobalt wash. So on the rim and around the appliques and that kind of thing. And then I just started putting glaze on. So the very first thing I did was I did a base layer, and that's my studio green, which I think is in my last video in the description. There's a recipe for that. And then I just put, oh my gosh, so much stuff on it. I used Celadon Bloom. I used Coyote Gunmetal Green. I used Flux, and I used I think it was Hydroscale, Coyote Hydroscale. Just dabbed that on at the end to try to get a bit more blue in it. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I threw it in two pieces and then just let the glaze do the work of sticking it together. So glaze at the bottom and the top. Really happy with that. It's heavy as heck. But that's what you want for a planter, right? You don't want it to be blown off. I'll probably use it on my deck on a table, so I don't want it blown off there. So my Studio Pink. So Studio Pink, White, Flux, and the Studio White. Studio White glaze, I have posted a recipe, I don't know, a few videos back maybe. So this is mayco frosted lemon and my Studio White with just some flux on the top. And might as well show you all of those at once. So just same. See how the frosted lemon gets this blush sometimes? It probably has something to do with what I'm putting it next to in the kiln. But I love that. And it gives it so much more of a handmade look, right, when it gets that pink blush look to it. And here's another pink. So I'm playing with some new mug shapes. This is just white and pink. I still, of course, will use my classic shapes, but it's fun to come up with some new ones. So this load has a lot of that new shape in it, except this one. This one turned out cool. So this one is my Studio Blue, and some of my other videos, the blue's a lot darker. I think I didn't mix it up enough. So it came more like a blue genie color, but I like it. And then it's Laguna Power Turquoise on the top, some Flux where they meet, and then I did a little line of Coyote Fairy Rose and just where the Flux ended. And look at that pink we got. I think that turned out really pretty. And then white inside, of course. Most of my mugs, said this before, are white inside. Oh, this is a refire. Really happy with how this turned out. So this is Antique Pearl on the bottom, Fairy Rose, Enchanted Sunset. Actually, Antique Pearl over the whole thing. And then a band of Fairy Rose, Enchanted Sunset, and then some Archie's base to try to make it run. And in the second firing, because this was too blotchy and I wasn't happy with it, so I added some more Antique Pearl. It got a little more muted, which I really like. And just white inside. So I think that's really pretty. A little bouquet of flowers look pretty in that, I think. This one is Temuco Gold on the bottom, Laguna Power Turquoise on the top, a little band of Gunmetal Green, and then a little band of Flux where the Temuco and the Laguna Power Turquoise meet. My Temuco did not turn very gold in this firing, so I'm thinking I didn't put it on thick enough. So that's my theory anyway, because usually I get a lot more gold, but that's okay. It's still pretty brown. Once again, you can see my Studio Blue is a little lighter than normal, but it's pretty, kind of blue genie. So this one is Studio Blue, Laguna Power Turquoise, and then a band of Night Moth. So I usually just glob the Night Moth on, just one coat, and then I will take a little sponge and I'll just soften my edges on both sides. And I like that. So that's that one. Oh, I made this little set. So my thought was it would be like a soup and sandwich set or a salad and soup or something like that. Because that's my favorite thing to eat in the wintertime is soup and sandwiches. And I squared off the top of the bowl to match the tray, and then just made a little divot where if you used it for salad or soup, that your utensil could sit in the little divot, and then you could do it. But I mean, you could also use it for whatever you wanted, serving bowls or whatever. But that was my theory when I made it. I like that idea. Now this one, lots of gold, lots of Temuco gold. So this one is Temuco gold on the bottom. I probably just dipped it a little longer maybe. Oh, and I also did a tiny dip of Temuco gold on the top too. Then I dipped Laguna Power Turquoise over it, and then just a little bit of flux where the two met on white inside. And I just carved some edges in this just to make it a little easier to grip. It's nice to have some texture where your hands meet a vessel, I think. This was a fail. Well, not a fail, I'm gonna refire. But this is my Temuco gold, and it's like burgundy. So I either put it on, it feels like I put it on too thin, is what it feels like to me. Or it might have underfired because it was on the middle shelf of the kiln. But anyway, I will add some more glaze to it, and then I will fire it maybe on the top or the bottom shelf. See if I can get the gold to show up. Because I made it with, this is the same idea as the other one I just showed you, but it's a little bigger. So for a bigger thing, maybe. So Temuco gold, Laguna Power Turquoise, some swipes of gunmetal green, and then some flux. And this would also be a really pretty serving tray if you wanted it for that too. And then same idea, squared the bowl to match the tray with a little divot for your utensil. So I think that'd be really pretty. And I actually I have more sets of these, but I only fired one set of each. And I'm glad, because I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add some more Temuco to my other bowl. I think that might be the issue. We will see. Classic one. Customers always love this. So this is Norse Blue and Winter Wood and a band of flux where they meet. So that's that one. And serving bowl. So Studio Blue, band of Temuco Gold, and a band of Emerald Falls. So Amico Emerald Falls. That's pretty. Nice colors. I attempted teapots for the very first time, but I didn't fire them in this load. But I also made little cream and sugar sets to go with them. So I'll glaze them to match that. And hopefully they will turn out. As I said, I've never made a teapot before. So many steps where it could all go wrong. Especially attaching the spout I found really challenging. And I know pouring, we'll see how it pours, because that can be really tricky too. And there's the other set I made. So this is Val's Turquoise, which is a studio glaze. White on the top. Then I put flux over the white. And then I just put a little band of frosted lemon about midway through, and it just kind of falls to the bottom. But I like this for summer. I think this is a really pretty combo. So I'll be glazing the teapots to match those. Just dipped in white, wipe the white off the flower, and then this is Coyote Fairy Rose. So very simple and clean look, like that. This one is Laguna Power Turquoise again with just a band of night moth on the top with the sponging and white inside. This one I didn't love. This is my Val's Turquoise. And then I did just a single coat of Shipwreck on it on the top. Because I thought, well, the base of Shipwreck, which I use sometimes, is close, like it's a little darker. And I thought, well, maybe this would be a nice shortcut, because I'm always looking for shortcuts, of course. And I don't like it. So it's just kind of a yucky brown. So, not going to be doing that again. And then I made some seaside mugs. So, not totally thrilled with how blue this turned out. I was hoping it would be a little muted, so next time if I did it, I might use copper. This is cobalt wash, and I wiped it back. Or I might use copper wash instead, or use a darker glaze over the blue, because the blue will really come through. So, I put copper wash over the starfish and the scallop shell, and then I wiped it back. Then I dipped, poured white inside, and dipped the rim in white. And then I dipped the bottom in, it's not really a Celadon, but it's a clear, it's a studio clear that I use, and then I added some mason stains to it. And I think it was something like 3% robin's egg and 1% Victorian green, but it came out, I thought I was going to get this kind of bluey green, but it came out really sort of a soft green. Let's see if you can see that. So I like it, but it wasn't really what I was expecting. So if I did it next time, I might not put any green, or I just put like half the green, 0.5% or something like that. Then I put a band of Celadon Bloom over it, over the white and the green, but not all the way to the bottom. And then I put a band of, actually I put random splotches of flux on the rim and then around. And that turned out pretty. So these are all the same, just different. So this is a big starfish on the side of the mug. I mean, I like the blue. It's still it makes it pop for sure. And we do live on an ocean, and a lot of people love seaside things, so pretty good. This is just a plain one with the same treatment. No applique on it. So 2 more seaside. Here we go. This one's a little more muted, a little more greeny. Might have been in a hotter part of the kiln, because blue can sort of burn out sometimes if it gets hot enough. And this one is also a little more greeny. And that is it. Kiln opening. Lots of stuff in production. Probably be running another kiln today or tomorrow, and just trying to keep things rolling. So I'll make sure I share any of the results with you. Take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you like the videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.